You can see Zazzle is the number one organic listing, or the number one non-paid listing that Google displays. But above them, they've got 3 ads here, and you've also got this big sidebar on the right with a bunch of pictures and paid advertisements. And so there's a lot of stuff competing for that number one spot that's paid advertisement. And I can tell you, based on a number of keywords that my business is ranked number one for, that based on the results Google will show you in the keyword tool, you can plan on getting about 30% of the volume if you have a number one ranking. And that's a little squishy. It could range anywhere from 30 to 50%, but 30% tends to be much more accurate in my experience. So out of 12,000 local monthly searches, if you have the number one ranking, that Zazzle site, it's probably only seeing 4,000 people a month for this. So maybe just a few over, maybe 120, 130 people a day, which can be a little depressing. But the good news is you're not going to get the majority of your traffic from this number one money term, is what I refer to it as, kind of your root term. Where you're going to get probably 80 to 90% of your traffic is in the long tail variations of that term. So for example, we've got coffee mugs here, but listed below that, the second highest volume query is personalized coffee mugs with 3,600. Custom coffee mugs, travel coffee mugs, funny coffee mugs, and these are what I refer to as long tail variations or long tail keywords. And they're just the root keyword, obviously, with some additional modifiers on there. And the thing that's great about these long tail keywords is one, they're easier to rank for because not as many people are going after them, and two, they usually convert at a much higher rate than kind of your primary keyword because they're more specific. And if you serve up a page that's optimized for that term, whether it's travel coffee mug or personalized coffee mug, you'll be able to get a much higher conversion rate on there. So this is where you're going to get 80 to 90% of your traffic. And when you're researching a niche, be looking for lots of these variations. In this coffee mug example, we've got almost a dozen here with more than 500 search terms, maybe more than that. So look for lots of variations in the long tail, and also look for the search font. You want to make sure that you're always going to have it drop off. You're never going to have, or very infrequently, are you going to have the long tail variations have as much volume as your money or root keyword. But you want to see, once you do get into those long tail variations, they don't drop off too significantly. And here, there's, for coffee mugs, it's pretty decent. You've got 3,600, 2,900. You've got about, it looks like 6 or 7 there in the 1,000 range, and then we've got another dozen, probably, in the 400 to 1,000 range, which is what I would call a deep niche. So that's a really encouraging sign. So let's look at a different example. Fish finders. I'll sort these by local monthly search volume. Again, we're on exact match here. And you can see Fish Finders, it has about 2,400 exact matches per month. And then we've got a few variations. We've got Eagle Fish Finders, Lawrence Fish Finders, Hummingbird Fish Finders. But really only a couple there's 3 there in the 1,000 range. And then we drop way off to 300 and 200. And by the time we're a dozen down, we're in the 100s, or even, 10 down, we're in the 100s. So this isn't to say this market would be awful, but I'd be a little leery of the fact that it's not a deep market. There's not a lot of long tail variations, and so instead of maybe getting 80 to 90% of your keyword traffic from long tail variations, this might be something where maybe it's more like 65 to 75%. Again, these are ballpark numbers, but you do want to look for those long tail variations. They're indicative of good markets to get into, and indicative of the possibility of a lot of your traffic coming from those long tail variations. So 3 key takeaways for this video. The first is make sure you're using phrase, or even better, exact match to get more precise results when you use the keyword tool. Secondly, just remember that when you are looking at those money term volumes, that you're only going to get a fraction of those, and that's even if you've got a number one listing in Google. So don't overestimate how much traffic you'll get from those. And finally, make sure you're looking at how deep a niche is, and looking for those long tail keywords, because the more you have of those and the less the volume drops off with those long tail keywords, the better chance you have at getting a lot of traffic in that niche. It's also a great strategy to pursue those long tail keywords in terms of SEO and marketing, because you're going to be able to rank for those more easily. There'll be less competition for them, and they'll convert better. So if you have any questions about this video or about using the keyword tool in general, I'd love to answer them. I'll do my best to. Just please leave them in the comments section below. If you did enjoy this video and are interested in learning more about niche evaluation, market research, e-commerce, and how to start your own business, or how to do research and improve your existing e-commerce business, you'll want to check out my ebook, Profitable E-commerce. It's a 55-page, really in-depth guide to picking an e-commerce niche and starting an e-commerce business. You can get that for free at my website, ecommercefuel.com. Thanks for watching, and hope to see your questions in the comments below.